Hi kids! Welcome to Art Expression Sessions this week. Thank you to Charles Henderson Health Center for putting these on. We are so excited to continue offering these sessions and these materials through the summer. So stop on by. We will have materials for the new week every Tuesday, and the class will be broadcast or published on Wednesdays on the Facebook page by 3:30. Today we will be doing glue resist paintings. The supplies you need are a piece of watercolor paper, some watercolors, some water of course, and a paintbrush. And you also need the black glue that you picked up from the Charles Henderson Health Center, or some that you have made at home on your own. All I did to make this black glue was I took half a bottle of Elmer's and added a teaspoon or two of black acrylic paint to it, and then I stirred it up or shook it up. This is the one I'll be painting today because it's already dry. This art project is one that you're going to have to do over the course of a couple of days, because once you do the glue drawing, you're going to have to let it dry. And I know you guys are going to be so impatient to color it right away, but you do have to wait after you made your drawing. So I did this drawing yesterday. It's actually just glue scribbles. I held up my glue and just dropped it around. Where I got these wavy lines is where I had the glue too far away from the paper. So if you want nice smooth lines like this, you'll have to hold your glue closer to the paper and move faster. I wanted to show you guys the work that Jane did, and I want to give you some pointers on how to do a really good glue resist line. As you can see, some of her lines are very thick and solid, and some of them are very, very thin and even have some gaps in them. So we don't want like little dotted lines because it's not going to prevent the colors from mixing. So in order to get a really good glue line, first of all, we don't want to have our lines too thick, so you don't want to open up your glue too much. Just open it up just enough so that you're going to get a nice solid line. And maybe you could start off your paper, like on a piece of scrap paper or off to the side. Make sure your glue is all the way down. Okay, so there we go to get it started. And then go nice and slow and be pushing evenly on the paper all the way around, okay? So I'm going to try to improve some of Jane's lines here. She has a good scribble, it's just not the right kind of lines. So I'm going to help her go over some of her lines that weren't very thick. There we go, there's that. I'm probably not going to fix all of her lines, but just some of them, so that she can have a good time painting it. Okay, so remember, open up the tip a little bit, do nice even pressure, stay close to the page, and continue to press very gently as you move your glue across the page. That should give you some nice thick lines to work with. So just to show you the process of drawing with the black glue, I've chosen to orient my paper up and down like a portrait style, because I'm going to try to do another Picasso style portrait. I think we've already done it, so you guys are already familiar with what Picasso did with his portraits. He was a little bit unorthodox in that he did not line up the face or worry about correct colors or shapes or anything and it was a kind of a fun result. So that's what I'm going to do with the black glue today. Let's see if I can get this started. Okay, all right, sorry, it had a little bit of white in there. Let's start with, maybe you could kind of make it a self-portrait. So there you go, there's a Picasso style portrait done with black glue. Of course, I'm going to have to let this dry overnight before I can add any paints to it. But when it is dry, it will have a fun texture to it that you can't get with a black marker or with crayon. Here's another way that you could approach making your glue resist lines. I've already shown you abstract with the scribbles. I've shown you a Picasso style portrait, and this is another thing that I think could be fun. I thought of just putting pieces of tape across my paper, and I'm just going to make it random. I'm not going to stick it down too hard because I do want to remove the tape later. Okay, then I'm going to take the black glue and I'm just going to randomly put glue down. I have a mat board underneath my paper, so I'm not worried about getting the glue off the edges of the papers. If you guys do this at home, make sure your mom puts down some newspaper or a cardboard box or something like that underneath your paper. And this glue, if you get it on your clothing, I'm not going to guarantee you that it's going to come out, so just be careful with how you use your glue. So I'm going to do some thick lines too. I'm going to do a couple thick ones now. It looks like melted chocolate dripping all over my paper. It's kind of fun. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm not going to wait for this glue to dry because I'm afraid once it dries it's going to stick to the paper. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the tape right now. And see what it looks like. Oh, that's kind of fun. Well, there you go. There's another example of what you could do with your glue resist. Kind of cool looking. This one will be interesting to paint also, once I get to that point. Okay, so clean up your workspace and let your project dry overnight. Now that your masterpiece is dry, it's time to add some colors. So you can add whatever colors you wish in between these lines. I really didn't like that brush because it didn't let me keep a lot of paint on it, so I went and got a new one. Oh, much better. Now remember, if you want really dark colors, you use less water and more paint. Let's try to get some darker colors going on here. Now you can see I've got a little bit of paint on the black, but that's keeping it from blending into the colors next to it. I'm using a warm color scheme, so I'm just using warm colors, which is red, orange, and yellow. So at this point I'm going to be done. I kind of like the white spaces in between, so that's going to be done for that one. That's it. Thanks for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did as well. And if you'd like to share your artwork, post it in the comments below and then I can see it. Thanks. Bye.